I've been a minimalist for years and I can still go into any part of my house and find something to declutter. There's more to it than just that, and there's more to it than just the aesthetic. It's a whole lifestyle and it's a way of doing things that really kind of frees your time, your mind. It removes a lot of stressors in your life. Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel, She's French, and if you're new, welcome. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you're new, my name is Jenna. I'm a French girl based out of California, and I make videos about curating your life French girl style. If you're not yet subscribed, I would love to invite you to subscribe, and if you'd like to check me out on Instagram, my Instagram is @shesfrench, so just like the channel. Today's video is really exciting, but before we start, I just want to say I've been reading the comments. I'm really working on the viewfinder situation. I am so sorry, you guys. I film on my iPhone, so there's not like a clear lens to look at. So please bear with me. Tell me if today is better. I'm trying to look at a different area of the screen, so please let me know. If not, I promise you I'm trying to fix that. But anyway, today's video is super exciting, and I know that I always say that, but like I genuinely love making these videos and I love sharing these things with you. So today we're going to be talking about 10 reasons why I love being a minimalist. It's something that I've been meaning to talk about for a long time, but honestly speaking, it's not something that I think about a lot because it's just second nature for me at this point. There's actually a million reasons why I love it. I really see minimalism as a tool. It's not so much like an end goal. I've been a minimalist for years and I can still go into any part of my house and find something to declutter. There's more to it than just that, and there's more to it than just the aesthetic. It's a whole lifestyle and it's a way of doing things that really kind of frees your time, your mind. It removes a lot of stressors in your life. So let's get started with the 10 things. The first one is just that I can take anything that becomes a stressor or something that I don't enjoy doing and I can optimize it better. The best example that I have for this is that this weekend I went through my kitchen because I don't know what it is about the kitchen. And this is what I mean, that it's not like an end goal. You're always progressing and working through it. And the kitchen is definitely a space where things accumulate and it's easy to lose track of it. It's overall a very minimal kitchen, but there's still things that I could do without. So the thing that I was trying to optimize recently was that I found myself not enjoying having to empty the dishwasher, and it was taking a long time. And basically I was dreading it. It's like the worst part of my day is doing the dishwasher, which I think is silly. It shouldn't be an issue, especially as a minimalist and a minimal household. It's only Ryan, Zen, my son, and I, so it should not be that much stuff to go through. And I was just finding that we accumulated a lot of like plates and little things for serving and hosting, but we're not hosting that much, but we were still picking through them for our little daily routine. And having all of that to go through and put away every time was just not efficient and not necessary. So I think in life there's a big push for you to be ready for anything. So you should be ready to have all these guests and you should have all these plates and things to serve and so on. And I love the visual aspect of things. I love having like pretty things and putting things on things that look nice and like creating a whole little vibe for things. I think that's also really important, gives you a lot of joy in life. But anyway, I think it's important to realize like, hey, I could have all these things to host and I'm ready, but realistically I'm not doing it, and it's just creating kind of a blockage throughout my day. So I went in, decluttered, and I think really for the kitchen you can have one per person of things. I think that's completely reasonable as long as you're able to do the dishes and clean up after yourself so that it's ready for the next use. I think it's very doable, and that might take kind of a shift, but I think that's so much better than what I was going through, which is just like having this huge task of emptying the dishwasher. And I know this is so trivial, but these are the little things that are going to stop you throughout your day, and that's how you can optimize your day. So being able to kind of go in, problem solve, and kind of get rid of like the clutter, whether it's mental or physical, I think eventually it all goes together. You can make your day so much more efficient, and that takes me to the next point, which is that you can then spend time on what you actually want to spend time on. For me, the dishwasher was definitely not something I was looking forward to do, and not something I would like to do at all, if we're being completely honest. So by getting rid of it being so difficult, I can then focus on things that I really do want to do. So I can spend more time with my son, I can work on my YouTube, I have time to film, I can maybe take pictures for Instagram. That's something that I'm trying to do more of. Something else that I really enjoy is video games. I have very limited time being a mom, a wife, working full-time. There's a lot of things that pull at you in life, and it's hard to keep it all together and not feel like drained and like you're at a deficit at the end of the day. So by being able to optimize the things that I don't really want to do, I can then spend time on what I really do want to do. And we only have one life. I think it's really worth kind of assessing things that could be done better in doing so, and I think that's what minimalism can do for you. The next thing, and that goes with everything that I've been talking about, is that everything has a home. Having the ability to use something and then instantly put it away and not have to spend time thinking of where it goes and its purpose and so on, it saves you so much time, which again means that you can use that time to do what you really want to do. I love to organize, don't get me wrong, but I organize as a means to get to the point of everything has a home and I don't have to think about it. If I could organize one time and not have to go in again, that would be perfect. Unfortunately, things accumulate, life happens, you have to revisit things, and you also change and grow and might want to do things differently. But overall, just being able to use something, put it back, move on, that is amazing. The next thing is peace of mind. So of course, with everything that I've just described, that offers you a lot of peace of mind. And I think that's the main thing. You can spend time on what you want to do, and then you're also at peace. You don't have this running to-do list of things that you have going on. Of course, in life, there are a lot of to-do lists, but you can take control of some of those things and eliminate them, which I think is huge. Like I said, I feel like I'm always like low on time, and it's really nice that with this different routine, I can go in and try to prioritize certain things and then just remove other things from my forever running to-do list of life. I'm sure you all can relate to this, and I'm gonna say this so many times, but it really does all go together. So the next thing is that I can be smarter about my money. I know exactly what I need and what I don't need. So I don't know about you guys, but being young is very hard. Having a family while young is even harder because you're just not quite fully established yet, and life is just hard in that aspect. So by being able to try to be as smart as I can with money, I can definitely live a lot better and be not as stressed, because I'm not just providing for myself anymore, I also have my son, and things are expensive and it's hard. So no one's perfect, and shopping is okay, by the way. I'm definitely not anti-shopping. I think it's just all about making smarter decisions. You'll see that I'm not super strict on this, because even myself, I think I'm minimal, I think I know, and then I still make mistakes. It just happens, and that's okay. You just learn and then you try to do better the next time. So if there's things you want to try, things you want to enjoy, I say do it. But you know, like with minimalism, you're always gonna kind of stay within reason too, so I think it's okay. But anyway, what I'm trying to say with this is that by having adopted that lifestyle, it's really easy for me to kind of keep myself in check. You basically adopt this new mind frame where it's like you're very aware of what you have, so then you can make a lot more critical decisions about what you consider bringing in. And of course, we all make mistakes, and sometimes we think we're making a smart choice and it doesn't turn out to be. That's okay. Don't hold that against yourself too harshly, because it just happens. We're also always being targeted by the new next hot thing. Basically, the mindset is like, I know what I have, I would love to add this, but then you start to do this problem solving where it's like, here's maybe the purpose that this would bring me, but then I may have something that can already do that. This is something that I do a lot, especially for my closet, because I love bags and shoes, for example, and I'm not like I'm only ever gonna own one bag, but minimalism really helps me to not really stray, because while I love bags and shoes, that's what I tried to do with my Chanel bag, was kind of have the one that can do it all, and it really can. Right now, it would be really hard for me to justify getting a different bag, because I have one that's perfect for everything, in my opinion. I can wear it casually, I can wear it more formally, it holds everything I need to, but it can also hold less. It's literally the perfect bag. So for example, if I was to consider a bag like, well, I would want one like this, well, my Chanel bag can already do it. Next thing I know, I'm talking myself out of purchasing something new, and that's saving me a lot of money, and I'm also able to use that money towards something else that's probably better. You're essentially able to be way more critical about the decisions you're making for bringing anything into your home. You can talk yourself out of things that you know you may not need. You can kind of get past the initial layer of temptation of like, I love this and I think it would be so good for that, because then you'll go in and be like, well, do I have something already that can do that purpose? Why am I adding this one into it? How practical is that really? You really start to think about these things that you may not have before you were a minimalist. And I think collecting things is fine. I think having a lot of stuff is fine too. I have a small closet, but I like to experiment and I don't really hold myself super strictly to that, but I do try my best to make decisions that are smart about what I own, because the double-edged sword of this, I think that's the right saying for this, is that I can add things to my closet, but without me even thinking it, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna reach for something over the other, and next thing I know, I have something that's just sitting and I could have saved my money and I could have just not bought it. You can apply this to everything. I know that's a little vague, but it's kind of what I was saying, that it's kind of something that's always kind of a work in progress. And this one really relates well to my next point, which is when you're in the mindset of owning less, naturally you're going to take better care of what you do have. I think there's something really satisfying about just slowing down, going back in and seeing what you have and seeing how you can maintain it rather than being ready to replace it. Of course, there's a lot of things in life that do have an expiry date, and some things just are not made to last. But with minimalism, ideally you would be making better choices about bringing in better quality, so that with that mindset you're able to take care of that quality and it can last you a very long time. A lot of people talk about like cost per wear, for example, with fashion, and I think that's really worth noting, because it's nice to have something that you just maintain and that you trust is gonna last, or last as long as possible, so that you don't have to go looking for the next thing to replace it and go into this constant cycle of replacing things. I really believe in quality over quantity, and that's actually a point for later on in this video. The next thing I want to talk about is that minimalism really cleaned up my aesthetic by being able to slow down and be really careful about what I bring in, what I consume, and what I'm looking at adding into my life. I was really able to learn what I was into, develop an eye for design. I think so anyway. You know, taste is a personal thing. And I really love what I have, and I love what I'm able to create while still being a minimalist. I think there's a big conversation about minimalism and like you should just have what you have and nothing more. And I think there's kind of two sides to it. I actually don't consume a lot of minimalism content myself, but from what I have seen in the past, there's either a push to have just what you have and keep it and it doesn't matter, and then there's the push for like you should have things that really make you happy and that you're really gonna value. And with that often comes a big emphasis on design. I see this a lot, so I think that's what I'm falling into, because I really do enjoy design and I don't want to not have it, and I don't see a reason why I shouldn't. If I'm gonna have a bed frame, why not make it a bed frame that I'm absolutely in love with? My other one before would have worked fine, but this one brings me so much joy. I love getting into my bed. I love how it looks. Also, it's my background for YouTube, so I appreciate that it looks nice. So I think that it's only human to grow and change and learn of new things and develop an eye, and maybe you want to try something different. That's something really exciting about life that we're able to do. And you know, art has always been a very human characteristic, so why not really value it and enjoy it? So again, I know there's different takes on minimalism and what you should own and how to go about it, but personally that's what I like, and it brings me a lot of joy. And this brings me to quality over quantity, which I just touched on, but really having quality pieces around me makes me feel so good, and it's kind of a work in progress. Ryan and I like to call it leveling up. Of course, we're young, so we haven't had the opportunity to like amass all these quality things all at once, so it's really nice to be able to upgrade something to something that's better quality and that we can really enjoy a lot more. Minimalism lets you do that because first off, you're not spending a ton of your money on a lot of different things. You're able to kind of target something in particular because you're not slowly splitting your money as much on different things. And then the next thing is that for me, for example, if it wasn't for having quality pieces, I could not sustain the closet that I have. This piece, for example, I've had for years, and if it wasn't good quality, I wouldn't be able to keep it for so long and keep on re-wearing it. Also, it feels good. I love this top. I'm glad that it's lasting me because I love to reach for it. So that makes me happy. The next thing I want to talk about is that minimalism really helped me to find myself. I don't go too deep into my personal life on YouTube, but overall, I think things have been a little bit hard for me in my life, and it took me a really long time to figure out who I was as a person, which sounds crazy, but maybe some of you can relate. Minimalism helped me figure out how to make my life work for me rather than me going blindly through life and kind of struggling. Minimalism kind of helped me get organized in every aspect of my life. By having this organization, I found that I really enjoy routine and I thrive off of it. And then being able to optimize those routines make things so much better for me, because then I can really kind of focus on what I need to and not have distractions, not get pulled in every direction. I can kind of set myself up on a good path that works for myself. I had a lot of things that happened that kind of threw me off course in life, but minimalism kind of always helps me kind of ground myself and go back in and figure out my next step. And then for more trivial things, it's also helped me figure out, like, first off, what my personal aesthetic is. I almost cringe at saying that, but you guys know what I mean. I've been able to find kind of what works for me, as simple as like my hair color. I've experimented a lot and I found that, like, hey, blonde works, just stick with it. You don't have to do all these different things. Blonde suits you. And then clothing, like, hey, this would flatter your body shape, this may not, that's okay. And for me, things like that are also really helpful because that's less things that I have to try to figure out in life. We have a lot of unknowns, so this again kind of helps you to take control of your life again. Something else that I've learned is that I love design, so I was able to kind of give myself a bit more of an art scope in my life. I had a really cool internship when I was young at an interior design studio. I then studied fashion, I really enjoyed it. All of that helped me figure out a lot about who I am as like an overall full person. I'm always learning, always discovering things, but minimalism really helps to make it more straightforward. And then last but not least, minimalism makes me feel a lot better about my consumption. This is a global world. We all share this planet, and there's a lot of things that are not set up in a way that is healthy for the planet, and that kind of helps me do my part and not overconsume. I'm able to make better choices and it makes me feel good about it. I really enjoy that. And kind of with the way that I shop for anything in life, I like to research the brand first, see what they're about, see what ingredients they use, or maybe like the carbon footprint that a certain brand has if it's not like a product or something like that. Same with food, same with everything. I can kind of do my part and feel good about what I'm giving my money to, because you really do vote with your dollars or whatever currency it is that you use. Whatever you purchase, you're telling the company, like, yes, I support that, I'm okay with you producing this, and I will continue to buy it. So I think it's good to make better choices with that and let really good companies thrive and maybe not pay so much attention to some that don't align with your values. So yeah, that was 10 things. I know this was a pretty heavy video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I think this was a very vulnerable video for me, kind of laying out a lot of my life, because I think my minimalism is very personal and it's like really something that I've made to work for me. It brings me a lot of peace. I really recommend it. So yeah, I would love to know your thoughts on this video. I'd love to know if you're a minimalist and what makes you do it and what makes you happy with minimalism. Definitely let me know in the comments below. If you're not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. I'd love to have you join my community here on YouTube, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye guys.